Okay, let's get this started then. So welcome to another week of CPL. This is from week 3, actually. We went back in time here. Grab a game from a group I did cast, but it was tier 1, and this is tier 0, and supposedly got some good games in here. There are maps, Deja Vu, Eclipse, the infamous TVP map for Terrans against Protoss. And Dominator is the last one. The pizza slice map, as some would call it. Today we'll have 1 TVT and 2 TVPs, or PVT, if you fancy Protoss more than Terran. That's fine. Anyhow, as usual, I like to get the DVTs out of the way first, so let's get them going. So first we will have Fonger versus RadleYong.
My life for ire.
On Deja Vu. Let's go. There we go. Why was that not picking up? Here we are. We got Fonger, top right, and RadleYong, bottom right. We have our favorite red versus blue, though. Yong has gone for, or Radle, has gone for the darker blue rather than the standard blue, so feeling a little different. Now it is TVT, so get comfy. We could have a 10-minute no-rush Terran versus Terran, where they just sit there, build up, do nothing but look at each other a bit with siege tanks. Okay, well, so far, you can tell that Radle is going to have maybe a slight edge. If you're on the right side as Terran, putting your depot in front of the command center causes the SCV to pop out more towards the right side, which is, you know, getting your SCV slightly faster than mineral line. Fonger has not done this, but this placement, I don't know if this is true, might make the SCVs mine more correctly. Some building placements do that, but I'm unfamiliar with this one. Of course, this could just be a depot that's just placed down just because. So we'll get back to that one when it matters. So, got our barracks here. Rattles is slightly faster. Maybe that extra minerals, or those SCVs getting there a little faster, help them out there. And they're going to scout at the same time, which is, you know, good stuff. They'll immediately see each other, so they'll know exactly where each other are. However, Radle did not get a Marine, and now he's landing his barracks being like, oh, maybe I should have made a Marine. Probably trying to cut a corner, not wanting to make a Marine just for that extra money to give yourself an edge. So that's backfiring here as Radle, or Fonger rather, sees everything from Radle, and Radle sees nothing from Fonger. It's unfortunate. That's what happens when you take risks. It was a small risk, but it was punished. SCV being chased on. We'll probably return home and go back to mining. Not likely to die here. Fogger's almost died, actually. But we'll make it back unless this SCV decides a little strong. Though these Marines still chasing, and there's a third Marine. That's not typical. There's a fourth and a Vulture. He might have spotted that. We could have some very fast aggression here from Fonger. He still is on one base, and he's got a lot of stuff that you normally don't have. Radle might be wise to this. It looked like he did see the third and fourth Marine there. But no bunker has been put down, so either confident or he actually doesn't know. Okay, instant reaction to pull the SCV off. Now, 3 Marines and a tank could fight this. Careful. Oh, fighting uphill here is not good for Fonger. That's definitely not what you want. Maybe a little overconfident here in killing that tank. The tank can just pull back. Oh, now that was a disaster. But, you know, a disaster or not, Fonger's command center is faster, so there is that. And with tanks out, you know, won't be super easy to break. We can tell Fonger is ahead slightly in SCVs, so all said and done, Fonger is slightly ahead. Strangely enough, as disastrous as that attack was. Yep, siege mode's on the way. No way you're breaking them. Okay, well, siege mode is on the way for Radle. It's slightly later, but that doesn't really matter too much. There's no real specific timings going on right now. Finally getting to mine down here at the natural base. Taking the gases around the same time. Armory. Armory's already done for Fonger. So I think Fonger wants to contain Radle here. There's only 2 tanks and a Vulture here. He needs his reinforcements. Ooh, and though there were no misses there, so those tanks are actually reasonably effective, but everybody's going to die in this engagement except for these 2 Vultures, but all tanks are gone. But, you know, Fonger's already ahead, so trading is maybe not ideal, but it's fine. Not ideal, but definitely not a loss. There's a third fact and a fourth fact being... Fourth fact being made, third fact already done. And Fonger's only starting his third factory now. That could come to bite him later, depending how this aggression goes. Ooh, I think the siege... No. Siege tank shot from Radle hit Goliath instead of the tank. By the look of it there. Could be mistaken, though. See, even though Fonger may have the lower factory count at this point in time, it's definitely still up in the supply and workers. Scouting out here, probably gonna take a base here later, and taking a third. So this small contain is doing work. Ooh, perhaps a little too close there, unfortunate. It did work out. That high ground definitely coming into play there. A Depot Academy. +1 is almost done for Fonger. No such upgrade has been started for Radle. Looks like he's trying to break out here. There's only one siege tank, so Fonger's contained is at an end and should retreat these, but he's going to try and kill a tank. Does get it, but he did lose everything. Oh, this Goliath might get away. No, never mind. That stray tank shot at the end. Oh, just letting that barrack sit there. He wants Goliaths out in front. Sees these mines. Oh, no. You know, 4 mines for a Goliath, maybe not the worst thing in the world, but these tanks seem to have ate a mine themselves, and they're both dead. Now things are swinging in Radle's favors kind of heavily now. They're both up to 4 factories with two add-ons for Fonger, so he can outproduce with tanks. Still need 1 here, so these 3 factories aren't doing much of anything other than making Goliaths and Vultures. Fonger is taking a 4th base, so despite the contained breaking, still in a great spot, still kind of ahead. Now even up to 5 factories. The starport done. +2 should be started soon. +1 still isn't started for Radle. Maybe gonna go for a 2-base push here. Or, no, gonna expand, actually. Or at least an SCV was sent here to check things out. There's a random wraith that has escaped my attention this whole time. Looks like it's gonna find this SCV. Well, these tanks are already in position. Oh. 2 of the unsieged tanks. You know, go in that engagement. So it didn't turn out super well. And this tank might actually be lost. Yeah. The Goliath up front here. This tank is actually lost. Radle can't afford any more losses. Now got up to 4 add-on. And 2 more factories, but it might be too little too late here. Expanding here instead, since the Wraith took out the SCV. Yeah, the units that are being made from these factories are immediately being sent into combat, so they haven't really accessed the strength of the Terran army with the army composition reaching a critical mass to obliterate everything in their path. +1 is started for Radle. +2 on the way for Fonger, though. So it looks like our stalemate is going to be here. Fonger, still ahead, is going to enjoy a more robust economy. This is a lot of factories, though. And there's going to be a lot of tanks. Hopefully can readjust these queues to make sure they're all making. That can happen sometimes. Fonger does have map control. And dropships are being made, so dropships, definitely the playmakers in TVT. You know, some might not respect them, but I do. And these give you the power to reposition your army in a matchup where breaking siege lines can be quite difficult. So where are these going? Looks like he was scanning around. We heard them go off. Might be going to hit the natural here. Will be spotted. Actually might take this position even, and that's what he's going to go for. An interesting choice. It looks like it's not going to work out super well with reinforcements here. Yeah, it's going to get picked off. This third is well defended. This third is defended well enough. Oh, that's a lot of turrets, actually. That'll come in handy later. Turrets everywhere in late game TVT is quite important. Really helps deny random wraiths and especially dropships. +2 should be done. Yeah, +2 is about done here. So this is going to be a massive power spike for Fonger. +2 is when siege tanks two-shot other siege tanks. It's the most important upgrade threshold in this matchup. Because even if you're behind, if you have it, it allows your army to function very effectively. Dropships are coming here. Looks like he's going for the factories, but he's going to lose this dropship full of Goliaths first. And the ones with tanks. Drops those poor Goliaths into mine. That was... And they're going to lose the dropship to the turret. That was everything that could go wrong, did go wrong. And that's one of those situations that makes players afraid to be active out on the map. It's like, I'm gonna go do a thing, because it's good. Yeah, dropship play is good. And then, you know, you lose 2 dropships full of stuff and the other one immediately gets vaporized when they get dropped out. Lose everything, gain nothing. Anyway, we have a big engagement in the middle here. There's way more for Fonger here. But Radle is set up. You know, that +2 to for siege tanks to two-shot other siege tanks doesn't come into play if they're not siege, but you can really see the effectiveness there. Not many siege tanks were sieged there, and they were able to destroy an army that was already set up. This is well defended enough. You're not pushing across this bridge without a massive force. Looks like Force is going to try and intercept here. You can see already the effectiveness of that upgrade, but enough units. Looks like this will be eventually cleared. You lose this tank maybe, no? Just out of range. Plus, is that ship weapons? Either a mistake. No, that is not a mistake. I was gonna say either a mistake or he's going for wraiths, and it looks like wraiths are going to be in play. Well, maybe not just wraiths. There's our battle cruisers after all. I could see mass wraith. Meanwhile, while all that is going on, Fonger is just claiming the whole map, even denying the bottom left, and that's super important. If Radle can't get the bottom left, game's over. You just need that position to function effectively. Unless there's some catastrophic mistakes. If Radle can't gain this, it's basically a loss. However, you know, you can disregard that and try and deny your opponent's corner base, and that's what's going to happen here. As the tanks get in and sieging up. Even if this doesn't work out, these units are going to trade super effectively. Excellent siege line right here. While these guys are funneled into this choke. We just need the right target firing. Yeah, this is absolutely brutal for Fonger having to deal with this. You see the size of that army that's just non-existent anymore? Very good positioning from Radle there. Absolutely destroyed a much larger force, much better upgrades, even has +3 to a +1, and it just shows you the power of positioning and how good it is, especially in this matchup. eBay, another command center. Yeah, looks like Radle definitely wants to take bottom left here. You know, similar idea here, though not positioned in the greatest formation. This gets the job done. Does eventually clear this out. So Radle gets to keep his top, or Fonger gets to keep his top left from Radle. But that was absolutely a great play to get Radle back in this. And he's going to bring his Wraith Force to deal with this bottom left, it looks like. No, going for a counterattack, actually. Let's see. Actually, hyper fixating on this top left. You know, if you can't take your own, then deny it from your opponent. That's a good idea, too. I'm not sure if he knows about this base here at the side. Completely ignoring it, but there are defenses here already set up. Oh, a bit indecisive and bleeding off units in the process. A little unfortunate here, especially after such a great play was made. Going to break this line here, revealing the Wraiths at last. Cloak is online. You know, always a good play is if you destroy all the factories, that can devastate the terror and get you the win. However, I don't think this is the right play, especially since Fonger has the top left. Can just remake them over there if all else fails. Yeah, gotta really shove into the main here. I kind of like this aggression. You know, you're being denied and the opponent's spread out super thin across the map. Just go, take everything and go. Good move here. Did lose some of the Wraiths, sadly, but is going to get up in here into these factories, and if these all go down, Fonger's actually running low on money, surprisingly, despite having more bases, or at least had more bases, but if we look at the reality here, it's still 3 base mining against, you know, 2 base mining in a bit. Is going to lose these factories. Some of them are lifting off and trying to run away. And losing all these depots, this is not good. It is at least probably going to save some of these factories. See, Fogger's really low on the SCV count, too. Supply-wise, too. Looks like Radle actually brought this back, which is very impressive. This is nearly a killing blow. Fonger could theoretically recover from this. He does have the top left position again. So in a higher level game, like a pro level game, this move might not necessarily be the best one. But, you know, remaking everything is very taxing. So doing this is absolutely a very good call. Because we do have to keep in mind, 99.9% of players don't actually play like pro gamers. So what they do, the decisions they make, aren't relevant most of the time. So Radle making very intelligent decisions here. Very good play. Even gonna get random stray buildings here. The eBay. Probably got the science facility too by the look of it. So Fonger has to remake literally everything. And, you know, Radle's already capitalizing on this and denying an expansion. Fonger now going to take the bottom left, but I don't think, you know, there's much else that can be done. He just doesn't have the army to keep up anymore. So once Radle gathers all his forces, he can just come in for the killing blow here. Likely don't even need to assault the top left. You can just break these positions, bottom left and mid left, and then Fonger will be starved out. And looks like, yeah, we're going for mid left here. And with that, that should be GG. GG's call. Very good first game, though. Like, actually excellent on both players. Lots of good plays being made there.
Remind yourself that overconfidence is a slow and insidious killer.
I really like Fonger taking such an aggressive stance early and exploding out onto the map, but maybe overextended a little too much. But really good decision making from Radle there. Yeah, welcome guys, good to see you. Hey Stanky, sorry for the late reply. Ninja, hello, doing the obvious. No, it's not that cold right now. It actually warmed up. Last week it was cold, but it's heated up quite a bit. Game 1 goes to Radle. So on to Game 2 on Eclipse. I hope the weather isn't too bad for you guys. Very actually action-packed TVT. I think that's my favorite TPT of CPL I've seen so far. I really like when you see the players actually doing smart things. It feels good. Oh, raiding in a lot of coal? That's no good. On to Game 2, on Eclipse. In the pink, we have Radle on the right side. It's a two-player map, so no weird spawn positions to worry about. Just you know where your opponent is. Bottom left, we have Fonger. You know where they are, they know where you are, and you can get there. And see what they're doing. Though this will be relevant later. On this map, there are a lot of proxy locations for gateways. And Protoss can steal the gas very early against Terran. Okay, depot. See the depot being made out here. Like, there are a lot of gateway positions that can be proxied, and you can't check them all without really hurting your scout timing. You know, there could be nothing there, and actually they made a Nexus first, and because your SCV took so long to get there, you see it too late kind of idea. Right. Barracks being started first by Fonger. The timing shouldn't matter super much here. There are 12 gas, 12 gas. Oh, Gateway Man stays Gateway Man. It is TVT, so can be free to talk about other things on this map that are relevant. Alright, here comes the scout from Radle. Typically, in TVT, the scout timing is on 15 supply. In the other matchups, it's usually 13. So in TVT, it's like, you just want to have a little bit of extra money. You know that there isn't anything likely to be super aggressive coming your way most of the time. So, you know, 15 supply, you get extra money, you get to feel good about it. Fonger, however, took a later one even. Is going to have a little bit of extra cash because of that. Both see what each other are doing. It's very normal things so far. And Fonger going for more than 2 Marines. Whereas I see 0 Marines from Radle. Radle this time actually getting away with his less Marines to save more money. Fonger stopped at 3, however. Probably maybe scared of the low HP Marine and added an extra one in there. If I can theorize that. Alright, Vulture's gonna kill the SCV. That's always nice. Actually moving across the map here. Did see 0 Marines, so a little bit of aggression does make sense. We're kind of getting a similar situation from last game, however, Fonger does not have nearly as much as he did last time, and Radle has 2 Vultures. 2 Vultures beats 1 Vulture. They kill Marines pretty fast, so this has been terrible for Fonger. Alright, you know, Radle already has an expansion, Fonger doesn't, so this is quite committed. So might try and take an expand and just play from behind, you never know. We saw last time, Radle was playing behind for most of the game. Armory going up. We're not seeing a factory account appropriate for Vulture Wars. We already have tanks in the field, so at least we don't get to deal with Vultures. Okay, Wraith is here, but the armory's almost done. So Goliaths will be able to intercept this soon. But Radle is almost supply blocked. He actually can't make Goliaths right now. Okay, no. He did make a Goliath, and that was part of what got him almost supply blocked. But he is actually supply blocked here at our favorite number, 4444. No depot going down. But did get a Goliath in there, so that's good. If he was supply blocked before the Goliath was made, this would be game ending, potentially. Yeah, 2 Wraiths looks like... Where's the starport? It's underneath the map. Yeah, it's not making any more. So the 2 Wraiths are what we got. It's gonna expand, but the SCV is not... I don't know if that was a mistake where you took off the SCV, or it was killed by a vulture run-by that I didn't notice. I don't see Rattle's vultures around, so I think he did run them by and kill the SCV. We can check after the game. And these mines actually preventing the advance from Fonger here. That was very close, actually, for Fonger either stealing a massive lead or stealing the game altogether. All thanks to our friend 4444. However, Rattle's fine, and he's going up to 2 machine shops so he can get that tank production really going. 3rd factory underway. He's very healthy. Fonger is not very healthy. He is on death's door. Very close to just being run out of this game. Just does not have the infrastructure. Looks like Cloak is underway here. Not making more Wraiths, though. Would like to see more Wraiths if we're investing in Cloak, but maybe has a plan. Does lose his Wraiths and his tanks while I was looking at a starport. That's no good. Alright, so this game is basically a skill check for Radle to finish Fonger off here. It did realize his command center never made. And it'll get going soon, but at least has a reasonable SCV count, so there is potential to stay in there. But again, very far behind, a 3rd base underway for Radle. This time, Radle has the upgrade advantage. Going up to 4 factories here for Fonger. And those tanks are going to take position, probably try and contain Fonger here. He knows he just got his command centers finished here. So Rattle's feeling really good, I'd imagine, being in this position. Just need to get that extra production going. Yeah, got a 4th act underway. Take good position, and then Fonger shouldn't be able to win from here. But again, never know. It's difficult to really finish off your opponent, especially in this matchup. Going for a safe contain, that's good. Could have thrown the game potentially if you just went for the bust. Yeah, to finish off your opponent, you gotta go for the bust first. Some of you in chat probably know a lot about that. Alright, 5 factories. Looks like +1 is almost done. No armory for Fonger, but, you know, we have 3 tanks and... Oh, the dropship. This could get you back in the game. Those vultures in the dropship could do very excellent economic damage here. Maybe even more with the mines. Oh, but this is such a well-placed SCV. SV does see it, but will Radl see it? When things are happening, you might not see something on the mini-map. No reaction. There is a single turret here. So these are not transferred. Oh, this is going to try and break out here and drop at the same time. That is a lot of stuff. You are not breaking this. So I get the idea. One vulture dropped off. There's nothing there, though. And Vulture's going to see double starport has been started, or finished here, rather. Would like to get these guys in behind the mineral line here. They're doing a good job. You know, that's okay, but we're looking for more damage than that, and lost all those units at the front here. This contain is just too strong. Plus, oh, we're going for air weapons again. Yeah, looks like Radl has a particular build that he likes. He's gonna stick with it. They're gonna advance here. Is there a second armory? No? Okay. Now, Fogger is not long for this world after that. He did have some chances there, but looks like it's all ogre. Let's see what this dropship can do. I'd say this is the final chance here. But they're pulled away immediately, denying mining that Radl doesn't necessarily need right now. Fighting going on here. Again, the larger tank count beats the lower tank count. Actually doing an okay job denying this. You know, the longer it's denied, the more relevant it becomes, but it looks like it's too late. The army's too big here. GG's called. Radl coming out strong here. With that, Radl takes it for name didn't make there. I do like the idea of the dropships, though. Like, those are the things that you need to do to get yourself back in the game. They're not defended properly. They can do devastating damage. But they were defended well enough, and then the second one came a little too late to be relevant in keeping in the game there. Hey, no Vulture Wars, though. TVT Vulture Wars are they're boring to watch. And more agonizing to play, I hear. Mostly if it's just Vulture versus Vulture, then it's a lot of biker gang wars. Okay, next one's going to be a TVP. We haven't had too many of those. Or at least I haven't seen too many of those, rather. Yeah, that's the difference between Zergling Wars in ZVZ and Vulture Wars in TVT. Zergling Wars, the gamers generally very decisively decided based on how those lings engage. Vulture Wars, yeah, they can just retreat. Mostly. There is moving shot, but vultures are a bit blocky, so they tend to bump into things a lot. So you can actually get away. Plus, they don't kill each other that fast, so it does take a while. Yeah, that's generally how people feel about TVT and mirror matchups in general, is they're less exciting than the other matchups. And TVT is infamous for the no rush 15 nonsense where they don't fight each other at all for 10 to 15 minutes, and then it's just siege lines that you can't break easily looking at each other. Alright, we're going for Havior versus Fischei. Fischei. We'll just call them Fischei. On Deja Vu. Same positions as the last series. Top right, we have Fischei. Bottom right, we have Havior. We've seen some of these people before. They do good work. Now, question is how are we gonna open up these games? A lot of the time, what people decide to do in the first game of the best of 3 series, or best of series in general, really decides the precedent of what's going on. Some best of series turn into incredibly cheesy trades between the players as they get kind of aggroed to each other after one guy cheeses and the other cheeses, and it goes back and forth. Okay. Barracks to the left because we need somewhere to micro Marines to not get hit by zealots. The pylon's here in the base here, so I'd expect we'll see a 23 supply nexus. That is... Okay, never mind. We're gonna see a 12 supply nexus. I was thinking, oh, we're gonna do a normal build, but then I noticed the probe and the money stacking up, and it's like, oh, no, we're nexus first in here. And it looks like it might be last scouted. That's tragic. That's a certain someone's worst case scenario there. Yes, at least not cross-spawn. And speaking of, Protoss is checking cross-spawn first. They'll change their scout patterns depending on what build you do. Specifically for this one, you scout cross-map because you want to know. Is your opponent cross-map? No. So that means you have to be aware Terran can just rush you effectively. Now, it looks like it is going to be the last scout, which is tragic for Terran. Absolutely tragic. This, like, defending, building stuff, playing standard and safe. Oh, gonna lose the probe, though. That's always good. Alright, there's 2 gateways here. We're gonna see Zealots. Cyber Core's done. Should see that start researching range soon. And Dragoons are on the way. Yeah, want those out before range gets started. You need to build your stuff before you upgrade it normally. Oh, Terran does see, finally. Probably can clue in. Yep, that Nexus is already mining, and I just started mine. Zealot walking across the map. Probably won't get much done here. There are 3 Marines. 3 Marines with micro beats a Zealot. Okay, good. Pulls back. Retreats the Zealot. Okay, good, good. We're doing alright. Vultures with mines are being started. Still hasn't started Dragoon range. Or maybe it completed while I wasn't looking. Well, Robo Bay, or Robo Facility, is being made. It says look at not so good for Terran. Okay, Vulture gonna go around the map, probably check for expands, lay mines at them to delay Protoss. Okay, range is started. Okay, wanted the tech first, and knew Terran wasn't being aggressive, or at least thought Terran wasn't being aggressive based on what he saw, so smart move to delay things like that you don't need and get your tech faster. Those are the micro decisions that really set apart players from each other. Making these small adjustments based on what you see and what you know that give you an edge. Now, mines are being laid down, but observatory's already done. Observers on the way. They'll be cleared out easily. There's no siege tanks. First one coming out now. I have 2 add-on. From here, okay, going for an armory, so not gonna be just a 2-base push or something like that. Though, no, it could be a full max out 2-1 and then push and hope for the best, but not likely off of 2 bases in this position. Range is done. Dragoons hang out the main base in case of drops. So, Protoss is positioned well here. This defensive setup against drops, playing it safe. Okay, looks like it's going to be a 2-base Arbiter. The Templar Archives and the Stargate going down the same spot here. Oh man, if Terran could just snipe this pylon, that would be a very feels good, but that is unrealistic at this point. A 3rd factory, maybe wants a 4th. Do the SCV here. You have 4 factories. Now, Arbiter Tribunal going down. Our gateway count is still kind of low. I heard a mine. Looks like it died before hitting lagoons. Okay, here we go. Finally, the gateway count's going up. Pretty well timed for the most part. Though not much is going on here. Very passive game after that heavy economic opening from Protoss. just mine clearing right now. That mine actually does go off. So free damage on those two goons. Is actually gonna... Oh, these vultures don't have mines. Was looking to place another mine there, it looked like, or at least snipe a probe. Oh, there's the probe. Can they get it? Oh, yeah, pylon blocking for something that's already in your house. That's a horror movie right there. You closed and locked the door, but the killer was already inside. Well, unlike a horror movie, there are 8 Fulgur spider aliens here to deal with it. Alright, the tank count is really going up here. Going up to 6 factory starport. Just about done. Should start the science facility right after, and then could get the +2 pretty reasonably quick after that. Do need that science facility for the +2. I know sometimes Terrans forget about it and just make the starport. And then go, oops. Kinda needed that. Can only see the invisible man through a mirror, and the mirror shatters and your eco line is wrecked. Yeah, true. I imagine playing this matchup for Terrans is a horror movie of itself. That's how a lot of them sound. And I kind of get it through my adventures as Terran. I'm just gonna max out here as Protoss and then just go for a push, see what happens. That's a classic Protoss thing to do. Let's get all your gateway units, max out, and then see what happens. A +1's almost done for Protoss. Upgrade's less important for Protoss in this matchup, but I feel like if you're rich as Protoss, you might as well just get all the upgrades you can. That's my opinion on the subject. Would not sacrifice your normal playstyle for upgrades, but I think there should be maybe a little more emphasis on them when you're floating the classic Protoss like 3K. They're still only using 1 forge. Well, Terran is going to get his 3rd base up, and Protoss is only on a 3rd himself. He would need a 4th. Looks like he's expanding for that, so we're doing okay. Terran's getting in position to secure his 3rd. So, the way this game is going, it looks like we're going to have one massive clash, and then the game will end. Okay, clearing more mines, inserting map presence. It was recall all along, though. We're not going for a bust. I was wondering whether we were going for just the stasis push or recall. It looks like the choice was recall, and he's killing the armories. Herod is not going to have upgrades. He's just going to have 1-0. No 2-1. 3 base push. Max out for Terran. Oh, get rid of this eventually, but this is some catastrophic damage. Losing both your armories is never good, and then these guys are just gonna walk in on the 3rd. We're not even gonna get our massive clash, it's just gonna be a 1-2 punch. Oh, he could save this. He does have the tanks here. If Protoss was paying attention, could have jumped on several of those tanks. Good D-Matrix, absorbing most of those hits. That was easily 3 dead tanks without that D-Matrix, so good on Terran. However, the damage is done. This is not mining anymore. This isn't mining currently. Just the natural, and that is... it's ugly. And here comes the second recall. Mostly Zealots this time. Actually, all Zealots this time. And at least there are Vultures. The scanner has energy, and there are science vessels, so the Vultures should be okay. Vultures with no micro. They'll still do reasonably well against Zealots. I'm gonna kill this machine shop. I'll never mind aggroed by the tank. You lose that Comsat. Looks like it's over for Terran here. There's no way. And then the army's actually going to move across and catch these tanks. Which is ouch. And even if, you know, these guys run across and take the 4th, the 3rd is exposed and dead. GG's called. Okay. I'm a little sad we didn't get our epic clash. We could see there the power of Protoss being able to just 1-2 punch you and then recall the same spot over and over again. Yes, it is a solo cast. Yes, certainly. There's a lot of different, better endings for SC2 that people have come up with. Okay, we're on to game 2. Should be on Eclipse, the infamous Protoss map from ages past, as I keep mentioning. There's a reason for it, though. With that in mind, we might expect the Terran to do something crazy. Or at least something prepared specifically for this. Oh, that's okay, Zero. In the future, though, I think I would like to do some duo cast or something like that. Crazy Terran. Terran mind controls Overmind and makes Ultralists to swarm the opponent with. Well, that is the story of Starcraft 1. On to game 2. In real life been nuts? You know you want to get back in the season? Oh, yeah, dude. Sometimes just things happen. No worries. Yeah, thanks for joining. I appreciate it. Game 2. Top right, we have Havior. Bottom left, we have Fischei. So again, Terrans will likely be preparing something special for this map in this matchup because of it being infamous. I wonder if I should do manual ad breaks on the downtime, because Amazon been really pumping those up lately, it feels like. At any rate, looks like we have a pylon scout from Protoss. Makes sense. You can get over there to the Terran's main and get that assimilator, which is exactly what's going to happen, I feel. Unless there's a... no, a refinery taken, because there are some Terran builds, actually just kind of one, where they do take the gas. But most of the time it's just, yeah, we accept that we're just not gonna have gas and we'll live with it. Alright, gateway's being made here. Back at home. What's scary for Terran is you don't know the gateway's here. For all you know, there could be 2 gateways here. Could be 2 gateways up here. Now there could be 2 gateways over here. And they could be over here. Could be in your main, even. You don't know. And you can't check them all. It's probably another one over here. Or here. It does confirm this, though, so a little bit of a sigh of relief that you aren't getting proxied. Yeah, money is tight for the proxy, but that don't stop them from doing it. This isn't ladders, so you don't have to fear as much degeneracy as you'd have to deal on there. It is a best of series, so... just plan for that accordingly, it'll be alright. Alright, yeah, Bunker's up. Zealot defended. More Zealots are being made, surprisingly, so we could just see the Zealots run by the bunker once the second one gets here. Maybe he'll wait for the third. The longer he waits, the faster the Vulture comes. And you know, this is a reasonably good idea on this map, because you know the gas isn't taken, you can just make Zealots. Good defense here from Terran, blocking these guys, knowing that that is a possibility. Completely cleaned, only losing the 1 SCV. Still making Zealots, though. Maybe he wants to go for a round 2. I like how Terran has a plan appropriately for potential aggression. It's great. Nexus is done. Potentially itself forcing up the ramp should have gone for the SCV build in the command center, but that's a hindsight. You didn't know this was blocked, but probably could have turned around upon seeing it. That's kind of splitting hairs at this point. Alright, Zealots are here. This Zealot's gonna die to the Marines. No, gets away. Gonna fight uphill, that's okay. The Marines' revenge right here, but Zealots are still being made. Dragoon finally on the way with a Robo. Another Gateway Pylon. Machine Shop being added here. eBay's down, and Academy's on the way, so... we're okay for potential Dark Templars, which we know don't exist, but Terran doesn't know that. Do gotta prepare for potential aggressions. And it's good placement. This is pretty standard where they'll get, you know, turret at the natural, turret at the ramp. Near your factory, and then one at your main, usually here is where I typically see it. We're going for a turret ring, though, which is a bit different than you typically see. Okay, we're going to see Reaver here, Shuttle Reaver. So the turret rig will help in that regard, unless the Reaver sneaks in a different way, but if the Reaver comes this way, oh, that'll be great. Plus, no observers are here, so Ross doesn't know what's going on in here. The turret coverage is good. The smallest gap you have is here, but there's actually a bunker with Marines, so this isn't even that big. So maybe here. So this is well defended. No shuttle Reavers getting in there. Or observers, for that matter. But was it worth the expense of all these turrets? Well, if you have a hard time dealing with Shuttle Reaver, then maybe it is. Actually going for a bio switch here. Now, that's definitely not typical. So we're going to see a 2-base bio bust. Should have maybe some supplementary tanks being made. Yep, they're already made. Might make more, but we need to get these bio units up and going here. Armor. +1 armor is the choice here for the bio. Yep. Shuttle Reaver's not going in. And then, you think about this turret rig makes a lot of sense, kind of, if you want to add in all these barracks. However, I think even a shuttle or observer would still see these if they were coming in from here. Though they died, they'd see it. Reaver is going to be able to drop here. Scarab duds, unfortunately. Not the damage we're looking for. Now, I might have noticed the bio switch earlier, but I could not see the eBay upgrading through this overhead overlay here. Now, might actually see it. Now, being very, you know, with your shuttle this low, it makes sense. You don't want to risk that, but you know, if there was more of a commitment, there, might be able to see it. But we're gonna see the push out now, so even if he saw it then, don't think it matters that much. Terran's already going. Definitely knows now. It's like, yep, those are Marines. Nice micro, though. Does lose the Shuttle Reaver, though. The Shuttle did pick up the Reaver as it was destroyed. So does lose both, but, you know, at least the Scarab's got some hits in. And the Goons are going to come forward. Focus down a tank. Take quite a few shots for their trouble. Okay, just micro backwards, take your shots. But Stim Marines have a lot of damage, and they have +1 armor. Which does help reasonably well against Dragoons. He is actually going for the fight here. It is uphill, so not favorable for Terran, but he has a lot here. He's going to just push on right through there. So Pross has to retreat. We only have 5 gateways. We do at least have Reaver. Actually, behind all that, Protoss was going carrier. Wow, I was super hyper-focused on the Terran stuff. Protoss was going carrier. And now you might not know this, but carrier interceptors are actually bad against Marines. Marines can shoot them and kill them very quickly. Oh, loses the Reaver there. Yeah, the Marines' attacks are not projectiles, and they do normal damage, so they can pick off interceptors very quickly. So a bit unfortunate for Protoss here, getting kind of hard counters and caught by off guard by this push. As you can see, those interceptors immediately just being deleted. Yeah, Reavers is one of the best answers for bio. So a bit careless to lose the Reavers like that, not just pump them out. So I like adding the additional gates to help defend it, but you know, continuing to build the carriers when you have the answer to beat them with the Reavers. A bit unfortunate, but hey. It's not every day you're caught off guard by a bio switch push here. Taking expand behind while Protoss is contained on one base. Even checking the fourth base here and checking here. So Terra is reasonably assured that there are no extra expansions on the map. Right. Nice scarab there. You see the effectiveness of them demonstrated. These 4-6 HP Marines. Does eventually lose it though. But that was a lot of Marines dead. Well, there's more where that came from. You know, +2 attack for the bio on the way. Again, there's a lot of bio here. These carriers are not going to be super effective. They don't even have full interceptors to begin with. Looks like it's the end for Protoss here. You know, nice move from Terran to bring himself back in a best of. Definitely catching Protoss off guard. GG's called. Oops. Wrong button. Well, that was special. But it goes into what I was saying is, in the best of series, sometimes for specific maps, especially one that's infamous, special things are allocated to them. So we're on to game 3 on Dominator. We haven't seen this map today just yet, so we'll get to see it here. It's the pizza slice map, as some would call it. Lots of ramps up and down.
How quickly the tide turns.
Yep, yep. So, after the first game where it just looked like a kind of one-sided recall 1-2 punch, nice to get back on the board. I must be feeling pretty good after that. Now, Dominator's a 3-player map. So, you're not gonna know where your opponent is right away like a 2-player. But it's not a 4-player, so you can scout a bit earlier, and that might change people's setups and builds. We're more likely to see tiers 0 players change their tactics based on their opponent and maps than the lower tiers. Lower tiers, you often see a tried and true build a lot of the time, or something incredibly dirty. We see some quite clever moves up here. Tier 1 also, you know, leans into that territory as well, where they start doing some quite clever things. Anyway, on to game 3. No, I'm not playing in this CPL. No, don't worry about it. Definitely not me. So this position looks weird, but this is the 11 o'clock position where Protoss is. Then the 7, we have Havior. EU things. They are low ground mains, yes. One thing that comes to mind for low ground mains is PvP for me. Because some builds, like the standard 1-gate robo, is not so good in the low ground main scenario. Being contained is just really bad. You can't get out. Is that W? Alright, scout after gateway, pretty typical here. CR12 gas, the usual. Nothing strange just yet. Looks like Havier's gonna scout first. But with the timing, even though the Protoss scouted earlier, they'll about get to each other's bases about the same time, so nothing really to talk home about. Cybercore. Second pylon. What Terran's looking for is often a third pylon. Oh. Did you not? Okay. Okay, good. They're just kind of hugging each other right there. You know. They appreciate the work each other does. Anyway, the third pylon is usually where Protoss has their next tier of tech. And if they're hiding it, it can often mean something's coming, something bad. And if you see it, you get to see what is Protoss up to. So if you see the one that's typically hidden the most, which is the Citadel, which would mean Dark Templar. The majority of the time. However, Protoss could just not go into Dark Templar and just do a hilarious Zealot leg bust, which does exist. It's not hilarious for the Terran, as they get get slammed into by a bunch of wide walker speedy boys. But typically, yeah, that's the one. But we're not seeing that here. We'll probably see Robotech again. In range on the way. I think that was the 23 Nexus, so safe and standard build, I think. Did miss it while I was ruminating about citadels and wide walking zealots, but looks like it was. Zealot checking things out. Bunkers made. There's actually a lot of Marines here. Yeah, I do love how they're scouting. Patterns have left this ninja star formation for the Fog of War. Hopefully they don't ruin it. It's very aesthetically pleasing. He's gonna destroy the bunker. Making a new one up here. And, like, you know, I understand making it here for, you know, early defense, understandable. That definitely would clog up rallies later, but this is a bit odd. So I wonder what the rationale... I don't think it blocks the comsat, but it might have. But even if it didn't, like, how are these units rallying from factories gonna get out? So, you know, I understand breaking this down. Because that would be just a massive block here, and then it's like, oh, I have to sneak out here or go around through the mineral line. That's just no good late game. Got an armory. And +1 on the way. Only one factory. So far, second one just about finished. Should make that machine shop. We're going for observatory first this time, unlike the last game. We have 3 Gate Goon. Terran making sure Protoss is honest here, staying on his 2 bases, scouting out everything. Very nice to see. Unfortunately, my Fog of War design is mostly gone. Now it looks like some sort of octopus thing. Observer out, sees the mine. What we build? Citadel, okay. Get into that Templar tech. Might go for 2 base Arbiter again. Okay, these pilots are out here to scout potential drops. It helps to have early warning as much as possible. What's Terran up to? Yeah, we're still producing off 2 factory. Gunning an eBay. Server sees all here. What's the next play? Yep, Stargate Archives. Okay, so Arbiters is the call. We should see the gateway explosion. Yep. We're up to 4 facts. Yeah, the scouting from Terran is pretty big here, just making sure there are no bases being taken. Yeah, and the pylon's spaced out enough that no units are going to get blocked in here. Okay, just seeing where those scans were. There's a scan here. I didn't see where the second one was, so he might have spotted the tech. There's the fifth vac. Looks like he wants the sixth one, too. Well, does catch that. Good timing on the vultures. But did want to get rid of this earlier, I imagine. There was a mine here, I do believe, blocking that one. Or was a marine, I don't remember, but... No, getting a free probe and some goons, always nice, but would have liked to stop it. It's always nice to delay Protoss. That's one of their weaknesses if they don't get their stuff on time. I mean, like, generally that sucks for everyone, but it hits Protoss a little bit harder when they can't get their nexuses up. These should be re-rallied soon. Goons are just mine-sweeping for now. That's pretty typical at this stage of the game, as Protoss takes their expand. Then Goons roam the map to mine-sweep while Terran's building up. Let's catch some few vultures, which is always nice for Protoss. If you bleed off enough vultures throughout the game, it can really add up for your later pushes that aren't maxed out. Or any engagement, really. Certainly makes run-bys weaker. Alright, Forge is made, but no upgrades just yet. Arbiter's almost done. Looks like it's going to be recall again. You know, it worked pretty well last time. So, let's do it again. Okay, generally pretty passive like the first game. Though Protoss is getting his fourth earlier than the first game. Looks like Terran looks ready to go here almost. Yep, starting to push out. Just waiting for the last couple units to get out of the factories before going, and here we go. This is a bit rough for Terran to push because of these ramp wedges. Every time you try to fight, Protoss can take pretty efficient trades and then just back off to the next one. So it does slow you down significantly, even if Protoss can't technically beat your army. But good mines in the center here to see, at the very least, if there's a flank. Or the positioning of the Protoss army in general. He knows it's here. More arbiters, +1's on the way, more gates being added. We are up to 8 gate. The 9th one. But there was an engagement this whole time. Stasis was done, so the back ones are stasis, and then this army's just gonna barrel right through this. Yeah, pretty clean sweep, so I could just camp this remaining stasis units, kill that, and Terran does not have much of anything. Looks like a clean Protoss win here from here. Yeah, he's not even gonna, you know, camp those tanks. Just gonna keep pushing forward. Understandable. That was pretty decisive. So, no third base for you, Mr. Terran. Can't have that. And yeah, from here, these gateways just gonna keep pumping. All these guys just drag, select, and brought across the map, and Terran should have no way to actually beat this unless Protoss really messes up somewhere. And this could be the beginning of a mess up. These tanks were actually left to their own devices. It is along the rally path, so... unless it's ignored. Oh, they're gonna get cleaned up, but they got more damage in than they really should have. But still, even if they got all the damage they could, it doesn't really matter at this point. Terran's contained on their base. Protoss free to expand. 5th base up. And we're down to 3 tanks. Meanwhile, Protoss is full strength, basically. Should see another near backs out, and then shove it, and then Terran will be dead at that point. Yep, second Arbiter here for stasis. They got 2 stasis available. Well, don't drag that bind into your tire, Hermie. That'd be rude. Well, Desperation Vultures looking for anything they can get. They at least got a probe that could have expanded more. That helps, but you're not getting anything done here. This cannon just finished. First stasis, you know, not ideal, but it's something. Alright, second stage should be on one of these pairs of tanks. This one even gets the 2 vultures. So we got like 20 supply versus 80 here. And that should be it. Oh, nice try on the second map to get back in the series. GG's called. You see why pushing across this map in particular with those wedges is quite difficult for Terran. Now we have one last PVT today. Yeah, rip the triangle shuriken pattern. It was a good one. Setting up the next one here. The Terran push out got rolled over. And then it was just another near max and push in to finish him off. Yes, there was stasis. Alright, we're back to Deja Vu here. RotJ versus Kiko. Or ROTJ. Figuring out these names is always a puzzle. Got some wild ones. Now back to Deja Vu. Here we go. Third game? That was a 3-game series. Anyway, we have Kiko in the top right, and RotJ, Jedi, Protoss, bottom right. Same positions again on this map. That's weird. But you know, it happens. True randomness is the weirdness we find along the way. And we get Terran jams. Excellent. So the nice thing about CPL is sometimes you'll have different players in the same matchup, and you can really see the differences they do when tackling some of the same problems. It's quite insightful. It's one of those things, if you want to learn, sometimes it's good to check out people that are, you know, somewhat around your skill level and see what they do. Alright, gateway down here in base. Not gonna scout right away after, so already something different. Barracks down. Got a refinery and scouting on the typical time. What are we doing? We gonna sneak a Nexus? Yes, we are. It's gonna be, if this isn't an end scout pattern, then it's gonna be another poor Terran last scout against Nexus first. Well, this isn't Nexus first though, because there was a gateway made, but every time I see an early Nexus, I think Nexus first. It's just a habit. So a bit safer than just the naked pylon into Nexus. Yeah, this is Terran. Protoss does something and it's the end of the world. Classic Terran mentality. Factories on the way, but yeah, it's always feels bad when they do something greedy and you scout it last and you're just like, well, that sucks. Well, at least deny, well, that's not a probe. I was gonna say deny some scouting, but that's in fact a zealot running in your face. Oh, just scared him. Technically some lost mining here from the reaction. Maybe a bit of an overreaction even. The zealot just kind of held back. I'm gonna scout the Nexus and go like, oh man. But since he wasn't able to get up, doesn't get to see any of this, so doesn't really know exactly how early this was, but you know, killing a random probe, that's good. So Zealot is slowly picked off by this vulture, which is gonna get another probe. He should get some. You know, gonna ignore the Zealot even and just go for it. No, never changed his mind seeing the goon. Was gonna go for this mineral line most likely. Which is a good decision to make, but the Dragoon definitely would make you change your mind. I'm gonna start the wall off to not get run by. Now, this is a bit different. This starport is a bit early. One fact starport. That is certainly different. Alright, Robo Bay, Robo Facility. Man, I always call them different things, even though I know what they actually are. We'll just call it robotics. Our Vulture gonna try and sneak in and get a mine down. Looks like that's not gonna work. At least survives. You know, Probe gets away and is gonna start his third base. Or at least prepare for it. Now, these mines are a little unnecessary, but you never know. Typically, Protoss never want to expand towards Terran. But if Terran rests on their laurels too much, Protoss can get away with it. You know, it's just good habit to make sure you know where Protoss is expanding. You don't want to expand towards Terran because it makes their push distance shorter. And it's easier for them to reinforce and defend their own stuff. So that's why. Again, if you can sneak it, it's so dumb it works. One of those situations. You have to keep in mind that it is a imperfect information game, so deception is key sometimes. We have a dropship here. Is going to sneak by these two goons that were here to defend. These are some very exposed probes. They're going to take some damage here from these two vultures. The third one going to be dropped into natural. Some probes retreating, but this is already amazing damage for the Terran. Does get two there, like that's value. That was a lot of probes lost. Extremely good drop. We've seen a lot of drops today, but that was the first one that like really did some good damage and saves the dropship. Yes, I now realize in hindsight, if he is getting starport early, then that must mean he's getting a dropship for the dropship vulture play. Sometimes I do forget these Terran builds. It is a risky one, because if it does no damage, Protoss is just really far ahead. I don't exactly have the number of probes to really transfer here. Maybe a couple. Yeah, 4. Okay. I actually did have more than I thought. Did replenish the probe count reasonably quickly. We were down to 30. Now we're back up to almost 40, so we're doing okay. But in this situation, if you could imagine, if Protoss took no probe damage, how far ahead he'd be? It'd be ridiculous. Alright, third base for Terran. The 4-Fac 2 add-on. Armory just about done. So Terran's like in a reasonable spot here. We're feeling okay. Now, despite the damage, Protoss is probably not feeling too terrible. We are going to have some Shuttle Reaver action here, as support Bay Reaver, or the Reaver, was the choice. He's going to see this. He could deny the third. At least kill the SCV and move on. Now that's just silly. The SCV did go towards the center of the command center while building, so the Scarab couldn't actually get it. So Terra did cost Protoss an extra 15 minerals there. But, you know, Protoss still got the cancel. Another drop here. Fischei doing good work. It's pretty exposed here. Didn't leave more goons here to defend. The the Goons at least intercept the dropship before it could get the vultures into the natural. So that's good at least, but there's more probes dead. It's Goons their damage for their trouble. And some lost mining time, but no, at this stage of the game, the lost mining time's not super terrible. The probe count is still reasonably okay, and I don't think Terran should be dropping any more at this point, but it looks like, you know, pretty committed, gonna try again. Dropship did live, so let's keep doing it. And we're gonna go up in gateway count. More cannons added for defense, and even the Goons are staying behind this time. Actually, an excessive amount of them. Oh, no. Yeah, no. Okay, Command Center was remade inside the main and is going to float out to the third. That's important. If this got forgotten, Terran would be in a horrible spot. So, you know what I said earlier? It's like it's happening. Terran at least knows that those binds were cleared out. That doesn't necessarily mean Protoss is taking this, but Protoss is in fact taking this. Hey, Herbon, thank you for the raid. Alright, Terran was doing something here. I don't know what. I think the dropship got caught or something. It gets cleared out. Right, Reaver trying to poke in and get something is denied. This third is still not landed, but the defenses have been prepped at least. Instead of these mines, would like a 2 depot wall or something. That's my personal preference, to have wall-ins like that. There are mines here that could catch some of these dragons, but there is an observer. Alright, finally saturated, but, you know, Protoss took this base. If Terran gets wise to this, this could be an easy kill. Alright, checking scans. Doesn't look like he scanned this spot. It looks like we're gonna have just Gateway Man here. No Arbiters, just Gateways. Does at least have a Reaver. Trying to poke in here as well, but the Siege Tank denies. So Terra might be thinking they're in a better spot than they are. Because this spot, Terra knows Protoss does not have. I think he checked some of these earlier, so reasonably confident that Protoss doesn't have these. And this is the, oh, it's close towards Terran base, so he's not going to take that. But it's gonna spot it. Accidentally. It's like, what's this? What is this? It's supposed to go in your main. A good pickup on the tank to not die to the cannon, but that might actually trigger a move out here. It's our upgrade status. Well, +2 attack is a whiles away yet. A while away yet. But he is almost maxed out, so yeah, maybe push. Okay, base being taken here, that's a bit sneaky. But again, you're being watched here, so might as well. Yeah, that's all. Yeah, we're up to 8 factories. Science vessels being made with EMP. See, is there more tech to be added here? Another robotics facility. Oh, we're gonna see a bust here. Protoss trying to push in here. I don't think this is what Protoss wants. You know, pushing it against a maxed out Terra down this narrow ramp? No, that's not what we want. So Terran's feeling good after that. You know, +2 attack is getting closer to being finished. And I think after it finishes, that is when we get our 2-1 3-base push out. 4th CC being built by the 3rd as this vulture is having a wild trip. Science vessel misrally, perhaps? Finally have an archive, so we're gonna see the shuttle play. Budget recall, as it's sometimes called. So we'll likely see those High Templars with many shuttles, since we do have 2 robotics. Even this probe transfer is gonna get away with this, maybe. Did Terran scan this? I think so. But look at these tanks. Yep. Protoss, that's going to trigger Protoss to maybe do something about this. I would like to see Terran immediately attack this when Protoss tries to fight these. We're starting to see some movement up here. I'm kind of doing a half and half here. I don't know about that. But using the mines to screen is good. You like just lay mines down this side while you hit this side just to delay them. Actually going straight for the main. Pretty bold. Loses the science vessel, unfortunately. But if he gets set up here, the Protoss army's all out here. There are no gateways over here, so the gateways are only here. While there is a good amount of them going down this ramp, which does not have these eggs killed, you have this narrow choke for all these Protoss units to run down. However, here comes the backstab. This has not been adequately set up to deal with this. So they attack from both sides. Shuttles dropping zealots on top of the tanks. The tanks are not all target firing goons. Still, he lives for now. There's a random Dark Templar mixed in, which is always good. If Terran sleeps on their detection, Dark Templar is game winning. Now these goons are in the way of the reinforcements here. And this base is still alive. A single tank coming here to siege it, so that's something. However, this is going to get cleaned up. Yeah, even dropping the Dark Templars on them. Did at least kill this base with the 2 tanks on the side, so that is excellent. And it's going to take a 4th behind it, so that is not horrible. The macro is good too, keeping high in supply here. So, you know, that might not have been the greatest engage, but did kill 2 bases. And Protoss is kind of scrambling here to deal with the good macro of Terran. Like, did not miss a beat through all that. Even has more factories than previously. Getting 2 more, up to 10. It's definitely going to take this. And with Terran taking this top left, I don't think this base is going to live for very long. It's already below half health. Anything slightly more dedicated is going to kill it. An Invisible Man is pretty good. Losing the front tank for it. Alright, Goon's going to defend. Shuttle dropping the Dark Templar and Goon off. Does get the tank, so this base lives for now, but again, all this to worry about. We have a group here that is looking to get something done. Okay, they're just going across the map here to defend this base. I was expecting High Templars, but it looks like that was not the case. It was just Dark Templars. Now, Terran is in very good position here. Should win. Like, there's still a reasonable amount of money at the natural. Though, if it were me, I would just long distance mine this. There's, like, not that much that's worth 400 to get it to mine more efficiently. And the probe denied here at the bottom left. Is gonna push in here. Ooh, close to getting some bad mine drags on those vultures, but still a couple went off. And there's nothing else here. Reinforcements are on the way, but can they get here in time? There's a lot of SCVs here, and if Terran loses this, Protoss is probably back in the game. Continuing to deny this, that's good. Okay, reinforcements are here. The goons, yeah, not enough of them to deal with this. Okay, good defense there from Terran. Gateway Man has a plan. Is make more gateway men. Now, I would have liked to see a control group of the gateway men to clear this bottom left side out and then reinforce up here, just so we could get this base up and running. At least still gets to keep this position. Having this position is keeping him in the game. Okay, Vulture's trying to catch reinforcements. Mine does get a goo. No, only one detonates. Mine detonations can destroy other mines. Yeah, we're up to 3 attack. No armor. No armor. +2 armor's on the way. This probe is found out by these SCVs and is killed off for his trouble. You know, you came to the wrong neighborhood. That was the real gameplay we wanted up in here. Okay, Protoss moving down here. Does finally get this natural, the bottom left running, so this game should keep going for a while. You know, 2-1 on the Protoss. Upgrades, you know, matter less for Protoss in this matchup, but every little bit counts. So, perhaps should have had +3 by now, but that's kind of whatever. Again, it's not the biggest deal. Oh, losing 3 probes to a mine. Taking stray losses here and there. Not what you want to see. The Protoss is... You know, he's recovered, and finally we have our High Templar. And the shuttles to support them. So, don't... Not the greatest storm I've ever seen used. I was gonna say, you don't want those guys in front, the Vultures could pick them off. A little bit of a Protoss moment there. It happens to the best of us. Looking to push in here, though, and this is, you know, not the greatest defense, but D-Matrixes will help a lot. The tanks just have no support. That's the biggest issue here. Tanks need that Vulture support. These SCVs are just going to abandon the tanks, not even going to try and fight, but I don't blame them, especially with Storm on the way. So this is now very bad for Terran all of a sudden. At least getting mileage out of these drops, though. They have been most excellent this game. So even if he loses top left, if he denies bottom left for Protoss, then all of a sudden things will have equalized. However, there are Zealot Men and Templar on the way. So that's not likely to occur, even getting the tank stormed a bit, but it did escape mostly. Oh. Oh, he lost the shuttle and it still had 2 High Templar on him. Or in it. That's gonna be potentially quite bad. These probes are just dying. This is not good. The base isn't dying, but we're just losing probes left and right for free. I know 2 High Templar down is also bad. We need those storms. Very efficient. Especially late game. And more vultures moving up. Looks like we're banking another army here. At least this SCV is still alive. Another drop coming in. Now, placing down mines to block reinforcements from the main of Protoss. Well, this goon's in for a rude awakening. This one too. But setting, or these guys getting sent one at a time is, you know, not the worst thing in the world, but this might be. Oh, how did that not trigger? He did lose a High Templar to a mine up there. So, is a Protoss advantage here despite losing? Well, that... It's hard to say, actually, because he's lower in the army count, but... Partially it's because of the amount of probes lost. But he still has this position, and that's important. And if he gets this, then that is extremely good for Protoss. Yeah, this Terran army's looking pretty scary. But, you know, Protoss is not in a terrible spot. Again, he has this, and if he gets this... Terran still has the command center, which is good. He can retake the top. Looks like Protoss wants to fight? I don't know about this, especially this Congo line formation. That is not the formation you want to fight with. It does gather up. What we want to do is probably not fight this. We need to get more stuff. But stalling it is good. Losing random High Templar is not good. Where are those shuttles? So there's one. I think those High Templars that were made to Archons were low energy, so that's why they're there. Could kill this Zealot, these vultures, but other things are happening. And we're getting into some very low money territory for Terran. Terran is no longer mining as of now. He's taking the center. Or at least setting up for it. And if you have the center, then you can take the top left more effectively if you get this secured and ready. Okay, shuttles are ready. We got more High Templar. Okay, here comes the long distance mining. Let's see if he's bringing command center over, or is he going to build one? Well, he can't afford building one. He does have a command center ready to go. He actually can put this down, but he might not know it yet. Ross is rotating around here. Doesn't want to take the fight from this direction. You know, for good reason. This is pretty bad to fight into. Okay, yeah, looks like he's trying to get into this long mineral line here. Is actually checking for a base here and is going to be probably surprised that there hasn't been one taken. I think this was definitely meant to storm drop something that doesn't exist. Not the greatest storms this game. That's probably the best one, killing a science vessel. Alright, there was a command center brought over from the natural, so we do finally have some efficient mining. But Pross has bottom left, and this is a problem. Terran has very low eco. Just one base here. But this position could afford him to get a lot more in the top left. And this is hard to break for Protoss. Now that Terran's all set up. It's like he's looking around a way to break it. I'd say he's low on gas, but it's because he's not mining his new geyser. He's not mining this one either. That's kind of a big mistake that might cost him the game. We have no gas. Because they're not mining another. There we go. Alright, here we go. Looks like a big engagement here. He's decided he's going to go in right from the front. And these guys are a little unsupported. So Vultures finally come in. This is a bit deep of a tank line, but this is a nice concave, and the storms are coming out and going to kill all these SCVs. And if this falls, Terran loses. And it looks like that's going to be the case. GG's called. Very close one. Wow, that was a very close one. Very back and forth. So Protoss up 1-0. Means we're on to Eclipse. So let's see what the Terran has in store for this map. Yeah, that was a big rip SCVs. Probably super satisfying, though. You know there's a ton of workers there, and you just get the nice storms off on them. Very cathartic, I imagine. Or pain and suffering, if those are your workers. Yeah, GG's. Okay. We have Kiko in the top right, and bottom left we have RotJ. Return of the Jedi. It just clicked to me now that I'm looking at Jedi 1. Of course. ROTJ. Very clever. Anyhow, we got our probe, probably going to pylon scout and then gas steal. That's typical on this map. Storm deals 75 total? I wish. Wouldn't kill Hydras then. Yeah, SCVs have more health, so they do survive storms much better than drones and probes. Drones and probes just disappear in storm. Alright, yeah, we'll see our gas steal. No weird Terran build that involves taking their own gas. Yeah, Storm used to do... what was it, 130 damage before it got patched out? Something like that. Something that killed lurkers in one shot. It did get patched, but that was like... age. That was at the time of the Ancients, basically. Alright, probe running around, being annoying, harassing. There's an SCV right-clicked on it. SCV wins fight if there is no micro or control involved. It is beefy. Being annoying here. It is actually slowly whittling this SCV down. Are we taking a command center? What are we doing? He's hiding it. Oh. He's trying to hide it. Something. I don't know. We're just trying to be a little tricky here. There's a probe here trying to get rid of the SCV. We have our Nexus and Gateway. Actually went Forge here, so while I wasn't paying attention and I was talking about Return of the Jedi, Storm, and Assimilators, I think he took a Nexus Forge expand here. So, very economical. And the Forge is going to deny any sort of Marine Vulture push. Well, the cannon's from the Forge, but it seems kind of unnecessary since no factory. But yeah, the cannon would stop any sort of barracks aggression, because Terran could theoretically go like 2 barracks and just push across the map and punish. But the command center did get up reasonably well. Yeah, probably not having it delayed is nice. Still chasing this guy down, and there's a random Marine with that SCV too. We just have like workers galore out on the map here. What are we doing? Is Zealot checking for a proxy, perhaps? Sometimes Terrans will proxy a starport or something. But considering the gas steal, the timing of that would be, a little later. But you never know. Terran could just slam some barracks down here and just rush in with bio build nonsense. That is a potential possibility, even if it is very rare. Extremely rare. It's like the rarest thing. A 1-up. This SCV gonna finally get picked off. It did steal a mineral, so rip -8 for Protoss. Bunker finally going down. Yeah, very economical from Terran. Now we're already going up to just a bunch of factories at once. So I really like how Terran has this planned out. Being like, yep, I'm getting gas stolen. I'll just gasless expand. Cut some corners like the bunker, because I saw that Protoss didn't have that much offensively. So even ahead in workers, like Terran has handled this extremely well. Alright, 4 factory 2 add-on. Getting vulture speed first. We don't see an armory just yet. They have typical turret placements. Yeah, typical turret placements like I was talking in the last series. This is what a more typical Terran turret placement would look like. Broke just still here. I suppose it helps to know if Terran's trying to steal a expansion. But yeah, the Zell is killed off by the Vulture here. It almost died, but it did get him. So we have cannons for anti-drop. And we do have Reavers again. See, yep, there's the shuttle. Shuttle speed is almost done. Rip Vulture. The shield's already down on the Reaver. Killing the Vultures first. Usually I see Protosses target the tank, but sometimes you just take what you can get. And that's like damage done, even if it's not the greatest or ideal. Damage is damage. Tank count is getting up there, though. Yep. Make tank. It's a good strategy to have. In my low rank Terran days, just making tank really went a long way. I did get in hilariously awkward situations where I just had an army of tanks and I'd be like, where are my vultures? I just have tanks. I got 18 tanks and 2 vultures. That's not the case for Kiko here. We have a much more balanced composition. 3 non-add-ons producing vultures. Well, this one not yet. It just finished. We got tanks. Looks like this is... He's going for some sort of 5 factory. Oh, that was a juicy scarab. It's kind of odd because of the 5th factory being placed on late, but this is some sort of 5 factory of sorts. And then all these should be producing vultures from now on. Oh, he's making more tanks? Well, it's something. See if a command center is going to be placed down. He has +1. So since he has an armory and +1, this isn't all-in commitment. He's getting across the map reasonably well. There's more reavers and shuttles, but there's not very many gateways yet, and that might cost Protoss. He needs more gateways. Like now. Sixth gate. Not enough for this. Does have this base. Turret might not know about it. Yeah, just gonna set up here and wait for reinforcements. Okay, definitely not an all-in. Gonna expand. Add another factory. We're going strong. +1 is getting there. Ross already has +1, but again, not as significant. Did even get the transfer off too, so that's great for Protoss. Finally getting those extra gateways. We don't want Terran to just be free to set up and clog Protoss up in here. Protoss gets contained. That is extremely terrible. We do have shuttles. One with zealots, one with reavers, tanks on siege, and that's the cue for all the goons to get in here. Alright, let's see the target firing on the tanks. You know, reasonable. Recently good. The friendly fire's been limited, but the reavers have been incredibly good here. He's gonna back off with the goons. One reaver with red HP left over. More reavers being made, but it's gonna pick up for some zealots. Should... Yeah, has another shuttle ready to go. So probably should pick those up too. No, he's just gonna go again. Gonna drop that reaver. It's still not dropping. Dies to the vultures. Oh, it's like just not enough. We have to ask ourselves, if only we got those extra gateways up earlier. That's what we really needed. Alright, Zealotmen are here, and they have legs. They're attacking the turret. That is not what you want. You want to get rid of these tanks ASAP. Alright, tank with the friendly fire helping out. The reinforcements just keep on coming. He's gonna keep pumping them. Gonna need a science facility for +2 attack. That's close. It's not looking good for Protoss here. He doesn't have units out on the map to flank like he did in the last game, so he's just kind of stuck here. Is Terran gonna reinforce this position? Okay, another reaver, but he has no shuttles. Shuttles are gone. He has no observers even. Oh, he has one. Okay. Never mind. He has observers. Never mind. We found them. He finally actually gets units out on the map, so that's good. Okay, dropships. That could be strong against Protoss here. We're having an engagement and a dropship sneaks in here. Alright, goons are going for the third. The third is undefended other than this one tank and a couple mines. Rip that front goon, but this tank is gone. Now these SCVs have to pull away. Nice retreat on the command center. It might live now, especially with these goons chasing SCVs. Unfortunately loses that observer. You know, that's great for Protoss, though. He can get these goons out of here. Oh, never mind. He's going to walk through some mines. He's going to engage here. No, not bad. But once these zealots fade away, they should... the goons should retreat. No, he wants those tanks. And these tanks are... some of them look like they were technically on high ground, so... not sure if some of those were missed shots. It kind of looked like it. But, you know, it actually worked out. He didn't need to pull away. Sometimes that can be hard to judge. Typically, once you lose the zealots, you will pull back the goons, but if the fight is going in a good enough way for you, it's fine to just stay. So that... okay, as I was saying, the drop did in fact hit here while that was all going on. I did not notice. So I was going to say, this is great for Protoss. They finally broke that and took away Terran's third, but then he lost his own third. Well, the workers on it. It's reestablished now. Then Terran's going to reestablish their third. Protoss needs a fourth. Now that we've broken out, we need a fourth. Could even attempt a double expand. So that's a lot of vultures. He's looking to kill workers here. Well, that's a lot of mines. There are no observers here. Oh, oh no. Okay, the Reaver died also. These, you know, these vultures and 2 tanks are gonna have a heyday. If the tanks get established, the goons can't defend this. Oh, these 2 tanks live, then these goons can't get up here or deal with them. Very good positioning here. Oh, even the vultures. Okay, good. Nice job on the shuttle to stop that tank. The tank still lives. And there's nothing to drop on it. Good dropship play here. Aaron probably feeling pretty good about that, even though lost the contain. So the game goes on. Looks like wants to expand in the bottom right here. Part of the problem for Terran on this map is they can get contained on these 3 bases and just be trapped forever while Protoss takes everything. But since, you know, this game has been quite aggressive on the Terran side, keeping Protoss trapped in their corner, you know, giving them a taste of their own medicine, Terran's free to expand. Again, these drops doing good work here, though I think this one less so, but that definitely scared Protoss here. Yeah, that was the least efficient so far, but it did a bit. That might be the signal to just tone it down on the drops for a little while and bring them back later. This Nexus is low. It could die to any sort of backstab or counterattack. So Protoss has to be wary about this. They're probably thinking about a lot. It's like, man, I'm scared. It has 300 HP. Finally getting a 4th base. But Terran already has their 4th, so this is not good for Protoss. It's been an uphill battle here. If the 3rd mineral line wasn't lost when he won the engagement and stopped Terran's 3rd, then Protoss would definitely have been in a more winning and even position, but Well, thanks to that great dropship play, it's just an uphill battle. Looks like we have a huge engagement here. 2-1 is finished, so these goons are going to get absolutely juiced. Completely goon juiced. The Reaver gets into the ball too late, and they're all gone. Remember what I said? You usually retreat the goons if the zealots are gone? This is kind of why. Completely juiced. GG's called. Oop. Means we're going on to game 3. I love the moves these players are making. Absolutely excellent. You know, maybe the execution is not up to ASL standards, but the ideas are great. And they've been usually working out pretty well. It's 1-1. On to Dominator now. Hello, Frosty. Hey, hey. Alright, game 3. This is the decider. We finally get different positions. So, in the 3 o'clock, we have Return of the Jedi, or just Jedi, or ROTJ, whichever you fancy. And then we have Kiko in the 7 o'clock. So it's 3-player map again. Now, this means something. We're going for a center 2 gate, by the look of it. As much as this build is infuriating, it is good to mix in, especially in best of 3 series, or best of series. So we're gonna have, well, it might be 1 gateway, but most likely we'll have 2 gateways, and then Zealot men are going to run at Terran, and then Terran's going to have to deal with it. Looks like it's 1 gateway. Okay. Not as committed. Still, proxy 1 gate, still strong. This could hurt Terran a lot here. Even gets the first scout. So he's gonna know where to send these zealots real quick. Oh, nice. Nice refinery timing there. Just barely gets it before the probe did. Now, with how aggressive this probe is being, Terran might be thinking it's a proxy. Sometimes you just get that vibe upon seeing the unit move around. I was like, yeah, probe harass is pretty common, but sometimes just the way they move. Yeah, look at that depot placement. Oh, I'd suspect he put it there regardless. Here we go, Zealot men on the way. Cybercore at home. Here we go. Marine takes a hit, that's no good. But we'll get away, get into this little Sim City spot, and shoot down the probe. Always good. The probe can do a lot of extra damage. Right, and this is successfully fended off for now, so that is great for Terran. Ooh, gonna see there's no Nexus here and probably put an eBay down. Doesn't have the money just yet, but once we get it, eBay. Yeah, there we go. Now, Protoss is not gonna have a Nexus anytime soon. These build pretty quick and have a lot of health. Oh, that's 2 Zealots. You're not gonna win that. Ross was paying attention there. Well, lost a couple Marines, but the Vulture's almost out. Well, halfway done, but it builds pretty quick. There's a Dragoon. So, surprise. He thought he was out, and then he isn't. Oh, I don't know about this, though. Pushing in like this. I'd feel it'd be better just hold the ram until you get a reasonable goon count. Could be wrong about that, though. He thought he saw a window that I'm not seeing. Okay, leading with the undamaged Dragoon, but not microing the damaged one, so it dies. Does finally get the eBay gone. Probably cancelled. Sometimes they don't get cancelled, though. Oh, we can assume you guys probably cancelled it. Nexus finally down. Goon range is almost done. Still producing off this one gateway. If he loses position on this gateway, then things are going to be very dire for Protoss. However, his goons are doing what they should be doing, and they are winning these fights. Uh-oh, injured goons in danger. Terran wants it, and he's down to 1 Vulture. Oh, I feel like that's one of those situations where you should just fight because the Vulture's just going to chase you down. You should get a couple shots off, but again, those are some very split-second micro decisions to make. So again, we're kind of in the same spot where there's an undamaged goon and a damaged one. So the fight goes on, but the Vultures are getting higher in number here. That injured goon is dead. Not targeting the low one. Probably lost track of it. Let's get one. Get the other one. Ooh. Hey, this guy can be the hero that we need. No, he's targeting the full health one, or higher health one. Another gateway main at home. Get that transfer in, and robotics facility is the choice. Could have gone for something like Dark Templars, but Terran's getting their eBay, so they would have been reasonably okay against that. Again, these goons are just perpetually battling here. So look them go. These Marines just don't stand a chance. I think this is one of those situations where both players think they can win this, so they just keep bashing into each other. If Terran didn't feel like he could just kill off the goons, he'd probably put down a bunker. Yeah, we finally see it. The goon count is actually getting a bit out of hand now that there's an extra gateway. Good pylon block to prevent the Vultures from getting in. But this is bad for Terran. Keep his bunker up. And even then, the goons might be able to run by. He's losing so many SCVs here. The tank kind of goofed up a bit by hitting the green. He almost loses the bunker. So, Terran lives to fight another day for now. Alright, we finally get to relax a little bit. Turrets are done. Just about. A single turret, I guess. I don't know about this pylon placement. Kind of disrupts reinforcement flow. But we do need this pylon out of here. We want our units to get out of the base. Now, costing Cross some money, at least, is the consolation prize. Oh, and if he gets back in after that pylon was destroyed, would be kind of just a very tilting moment. Oh, he saw the probe. That... okay. That was a bit of miscontrol there. Unfortunate for Terran. Instead of killing the probe in 2 hits, he started shooting the Dragoon. That's not what you want to see. That was a free probe and probably kicking themselves. Oh, speaking of vultures, though, these guys are in. And they're getting the damage they want. Oh, this is actually devastating. This is the damage he needed. And he's getting it. There was a Reaver damn it. There's a Reaver shuttle drop in here. The shuttle did die, but now there's a Reaver and a Dragoon. One more shot. Oh! Okay, that could have been worse for Terran. Now the Goon bust is coming. Man, this game's crazy. Okay, Goons destroyed the front. The tanks are really scrambling to get here while the SCVs do the job for all the combat units. And there's a lot of SCVs here. They're doing a great job. And they're walling off those Goons from getting in any good position to hit these tanks. So MVP SCVs. The hug of death. Even the tank killing 2 SCVs for their trouble. These 2 mines could cause some problems for Protoss later. So even though he got the 3rd up, and got all this damage, did lose all those Goons. You know, kind of went for tit for tat here. The damage that was done by one player has been reciprocated. Right, we get to relax a little here. These Goons looking to kill some tanks. 4 Goons, 2 shot a tank. Tanks are up a hill. Now they're not. Ooh. Oh, these mines doing good work. Did actually clear these mines without any losses, it seems. I was kind of expecting to be more aggressive with just those 4 tanks pushing up and have those Goons try and jump in and get some on the... when they were on the high ground, but I guess not. Vulture did get in here. This base is not mining much. The probes were forced to run away. The mines, again, still causing lots of damage. Okay, what do we have behind? We're up to 4 factories. Probably need a pylon wall here. And again, we kind of have the little bit of a problem where Protoss expanded towards Terran. And that's not normally something you should be doing. And looks like Terran's gonna get you for it. Raccoon's coming up. There's a mine, though, and it gets the connections. Okay, looks like it is going to be defended. Some of these goons are actually, like, low, though, so the good tank shots could kill them all off, but there's a lot. I don't think these tanks are going to last much longer. Well, I say that this tank's lasting a long while. But the base is still not mining. Aaron's still pushing up with this lone tank, maybe a miss rally. Fortunate to lose that. You need every tank, especially when you have one add-on. It's the only thing that you can make tanks from right now. I could see the probe transfer very soon here. This gateway in the center of the map is still making units. Going up to 4 bases, Terran's still on 2. Getting a starport. Getting that second add-on. We definitely need more tanks. These 3 vultures could get something done. It's always a hope. Space is still not mining. Okay, we finally get the transfer, but this is only occurring because this main base is already nearly dry. And here come the vultures. They're gonna get this transfer. No, good drill there to displace the vultures to not get as much damage as they could. But this one gets in, and he's gonna get his damage. But yeah, they got their value, that's for sure. Not the greatest. Good defense there from Protoss. But I think they could both go away from that and feel reasonably okay about it. What are we looking at? Still on Gateway Man tech. No High Templars, no Arbiter. Finally adding more gateways. Terran is still on 2 base. Hold on. We are getting the Scarab damage upgrade, so we're going to see more Reaver action, most likely. Okay, command center being built in main, so Terran is not all-inning off of 2 bases. Okay, +1 for Terran is halfway done. We're also going to take a 5th base, even. A good denial. This map presence from Terran and their vultures has been great. And here comes the dropships again. These have been super effective throughout this entire series. So we gotta see, what can this one get done? Probably deny this, maybe? Well, it's already being denied, but maybe come in later to deny it further. We do have more cannons being added to these Nexi as a precaution. Looks like he did drop. No? Just kind of flew over. Oh, Protoss is trying to engage here while Terran's denying the top part. See the turret fire on these tanks. This Reaver's in such a good position. Thankfully only got 1 Scarab off. And with this, Terran should defend, yes. Because that was close. If the Reaver got a 2nd Scarab shot off, then I think Terran would have lost from there. It was in such a good position. Did actually kill this and is going to get vultures into the main. Kill more probes. Once again, these drops have been the bane of Jedi's existence. Oh, that was a lot of probes. Unfortunately, all the vultures died of their own mine and the zealots are fine. Looks like Terran wants to take this position. It's maybe setting up for a fourth base here. Dropship survives, it's coming back, getting a fourth base up. +2 attacks on the way and a second armory under construction. Random mines being cleared out by wide walking zealots. Zealots probably just gonna roll up here and mine drag onto the tank or just kill it. That's fine too. Needed a friend. It was a 1v1, but actually, he had a friend. Always gotta love that. It's like, yeah, I'll 1v1 you, and then brings all his friends. Of course. How honorable. Very honorable Protoss. Mind drag, it should be able to get this just fine. Probably should clear this out too while he's at it. Just double expand, why not? But this might be the why not. The drop is back. And down they go. Cypros is setting up to just gateway man his way into this position. Do we have any other tech behind this? Just... Alright, we're pushing in here. There's not too much in front of the tanks, so this is going to rely heavily on the target firing the tanks to not murder their own units. SCV's doing some good blocking here. Once again, SCV's MVP. There's a lot of goons here. Oh, he wasn't quite able to get up onto the high ground here. But it looks like he will kill this base. You know, job's done. Retreat. Not exactly the greatest micro there. I caught that. I see what you did. Empty shuttle over here, probably forgotten about. We gonna put the Nexus down, or did we forget about it? Now that's actually bad. There could have been a Nexus here. Might have had a brain lag moment where built the cannon to kill the mine, but mine was already cleared by the goons and kind of forgot about that. That might be why the Nexus wasn't put down. However, this counterattack, this base is not super well defended. Again, we don't have a supply depot wall here at the ramp. So these guys are freely able to walk up. However, reinforcements are here. They are many. This D matrix is good to make this tank last so much longer. The SCVs once again called the fight because the mech army isn't up to the task. It's when you realize Terran's just been holding back this whole time, not using his best unit in his army. Finally, this base gets up, but this could have been up 5 minutes ago, or even earlier. So unfortunate, but good job on Terran to slow that down. And even, they're back. Once again, these marauding gangers are here again. They're gonna kill your cannon. Might run that one back, but a little too late. This cannon might be able to fend them off if it targeted the low HP one first, but with the Zealot reinforcement, we'll be okay. Gets the probe on the way out, though. Looks like +3 attack is now started. A bit low on money for Terran. We do only have these 2 bases that were disrupted in their mining. As this base was destroyed earlier, so it was actually 1 base mining for a little bit. Definitely slowed down a bit. What do we have for pros? We finally have Templar Archives. We're getting a Stargate, so we might see Arbiters. High Templars are en route. We do have shuttles for them. Ooh, that was a juicy mine. We've been getting these goons, too. Okay, Nexus finally up here. The Terran's probably feeling alright after denying all this for so long. Finally getting those upgrades really up there. We're gonna have 3 too in a couple minutes here. And this base is not super far away, so can definitely take that without too much of a hassle. Heard the dropship loading up. Where is it? Oh, here's a shuttle. It's empty, though. There it is. Empty shuttle thrown into the mineral line to do nothing. Alright, here we go. Round, like, 7 here for dropship play. However, there is a reasonable force here. More cannons are being added for drop defense. Oh, they're leaving. There's Arbitral Tribunals done, so we can start making Arbiters. It's actually going to drop off here. Probably looking to deny this from Protoss. You don't want Protoss to get this base and just have another place where they can rally units out of, as well as having 2 free bases, basically. So kind of sneaky get units out on the map like that. Getting close to maxed out on both sides. It's a Corsair. What's that doing here? Is there a disruption web? No, there's no fleet beacon. It's just there to soak shots, and here's some High Templars that are going to rain storms down on. Only 1 storm got down, so not the greatest execution there, unfortunately. It looked like one of the High Templars was getting stuck on another, so it couldn't cast the storm because of the displacing SCVs. Alright, that's going to enrage the Terran to move out. Okay, he's getting his units in position, but, you know, we're taking stray shots here. We don't want Terran to get up here. Yeah, we need to rotate around them from the side. And yeah, Terran's getting up here. This is getting bad for Protoss. If Terran denies all this production, then Protoss loses. There's no way they can recover from that. However, we're going for a counterattack. Terran's favorite thing. He's gonna pull everything back to fight this, and this is probably not where you want to counterattack from. Through this narrow choke into all this. I like the idea, though, trying to counterattack and stop Terran from blocking up your main. This is the observer. Starting to bind out here. This is starting to bind out. So that means Protoss is almost on only 2 base mining, and that is not good. Terran, because they took damage, they're still okay. Should be maybe considering expanding. Now, recall is finally being researched, so we could see some recalls in here, but recall defense is starting to be set up here with mines, some more turrets being added. Finally, this middle gateway goes down. It got its value. Despite the initial one-gate proxy not doing a lot, it kept a very long engagement going. Finally, we're looking to clear this out. Terran's trying to take this, but that's not going to happen. I was realizing, oh, I'm kind of running out of money. Oh, this is... You didn't notice, he didn't go all the way in. Oh, if Terran gets a free command center out of all this, that's fine. Good AMP, getting the Arbiter and a chunk of the army. That's a lot of damage. Like, we have a control group of Protoss units that have no shields, as well as the Arbiter having no energy. Let's see here. Looks like we're setting up for a recall. Arbiter's kind of getting position. We have a group of dudes here, but we don't have the energy just yet. That's going to be a little while. Yeah, Terra does not want Protoss to have this position and moving in to intercept. And fighting, like, up this hill into all this, definitely not what you want to do. So repositioning here, going in the center. Just leaving a small amount of units to try and fight this way, repositions. Oh, EMP on the Arbiter again. Command center floating out here. Oh, he discovered it. Oh, Terran getting his sneaky gas. But not like Protoss is in much of a position to deal with it, except for from this gateway. Okay, we're finally seeing engagement here. Terran's a bit out of position, so this is the best engage Protoss is going to get for a while. They're not all fighting. This could have gone super well. That's unfortunate. That was like the fight. And then we just had half the army kind of chilling. So now Terran gets this position. That is tragic. Maybe a bit of miscontrol or hesitation to fully commit to that, but by the look of it, it looked like the fight. Though, I could be the guy that just rams an army in, then loses everything and go, huh? Alright, looks like we're setting up for another flank. Terran is aware. We do have Templars now creeping about. Shuttles should be helping those guys get around because they are slow. You don't want them just get EMP'd for free. That's one of the bigger issues. These guys are kind of just chilling here too. Is taking this risky expand. That's a risky one. But if you get away with it, then hey, it's free money. And Terran getting a 5th base here, so that'll be good. So we won't run dry. This is almost out. This is almost out. Okay, yeah, we're getting into the... Okay, never mind about that. We're having another fight. No stasis. Once again, the EMPs are clutch. We do have a storm available. Guy got picked up by target firing. Okay, these guys finally get it, and it looks like he's finally broken here. But he's not out. Oh, and free Templars, always good. High Templars have such game-changing potential with those storms. Yeah. Speak of the devil, look at all these tanks, they're coming up. Definitely don't want Frost to get this. Frost definitely doesn't want Terran to have this. That would be bad. Well, these vultures are sneaking about, tricking these rallies. And Frost knows this is gonna take him out. Allegedly. Stays in the command center at least. Hey, those are expensive. You don't want to lose them. Ross is getting a bit low here, though. So we're kind of entering a bit of danger zone territory. This is close. 3-3 is done. Ross has their 3-3-2, or 3-2-3. Less relevant than the Terran ones, but hey. Damage is damage. Any mitigation is mitigation. Don't want to die to more SCB surrounds. Continue this top area is not mining. Terra could maybe take this base, though. With the way things are. Ooh, rotating down here, though. A recall in this main could be a good idea, but again, there are mines, and recalling on top of these mines would be bad. Okay, gonna attack here. I don't think this is a great idea, as there's nothing of value here, really. Well, this is not the engage we want. Terran is already set up. No! Get out of there! I like the idea of going around this part, but not like this. Of course, I'm the one who has the vision of everything, so it might have looked a little safer from that point of view. But yeah, this position has not really much value other than maybe getting up here and stopping rallies, but not a high value target in my opinion at least. But yeah, we're coming back here to mess around with the top. Looks like Terran does want to do something with this base. And gonna get away with murder here and mine from this base. This is so easily killable for Terran. And he is just out of vision. He doesn't know. If there was a cannon like 1 square forward, Terran would know. So very fortunate that this is getting away with this. It's what's keeping Pross in the game here, because we're about to mine out. Try and take this again. Terran's retaking this. Alright, tanks are set up, but they kind of have no support, but on the other side, we have a bunch of Dragoons with no support. Where are the Zealots? Well, there's 3. We have 3 Arbiters, too, so we could have a lot of stasises. Here are the Vultures, that's good. You need those to screen for the tanks. Vulture mine. Okay, this Arbiter EMP. This one as well. We do have a 3rd one that can have a single stasis, but all these goons are getting juiced. Completely destroyed. We do get a storm off, but there's still 14 to 16 tanks here. All the goons are gone. Only stasis 2 tanks, I guess. Yeah, before engaging, we'd want to fan out a bit more. Kind of got caught in this corner, but easier said than done. Now the tanks feel free to just push up and kill this. Terran's on 1 base mining, but they do have this. Why are we building a pylon here? Actually, I'm curious. Why now, of all times, are we building a pylon right now? The observer cleared out, unfortunately. We need that vision. I'm just so curious about this pylon. Why? Why? I want to know. This is a great mystery. We're already max supply. Unless we weren't and I didn't notice. Okay, Pross is gonna consolidate here. Need to get that supply back up. Still getting away with murder here. We're on 1 base mining, yeah, basically, for Protoss. Terran is also on, well, on 2 base mining, actually. Okay, good flank here, coming from multiple angles. Zell's gonna get on all these unsupported tanks. The Vultures are just not here, and there are no mines. Got a good stasis off, too. No energy for EMPs. Those tanks are cleared out. And these tanks are gonna also fall. Okay, most of them. But the remaining are very low HP. The rest of the Protoss is now going to finish up, but Terran's coming back. Reinforcements are here, and there's not enough Protoss here to actually fight the reinforcement. However, there are Protoss reinforcements on the way. But Terran already has this position, and that's probably the winning move here for Terran. If Protoss can stop it, though, then it's all over. Oh, can we get a storm, or is this just unfortunate? Still want to know about this pylon. Oh, there's no anti-air, so the Arbiters are going to town with their 10 damage shot that does 6 damage because there's 4 armor on the tanks. Gets the EMP on them, so they ain't do anything. But this... Oh, they die. They kill the side sizzles. 20 HP. 2 more shots will do it. Down it goes. We need turrets, but there's nobody to build them. And Pross is running dry here. Still 2 more Arbiters left over. Well, 4 Arbiters on the field in total. Maybe a tad too many Arbiters. Need a couple more combat units instead. Oh no, we're kind of... Okay, these drops though. Very good. The friendly fire doing a lot of damage to those tanks. Terran still has reasonable money coming in though, so these factories can keep producing. This 2-base mining is doing wonders. Sneaking this base in was the game-winning move, if that's what wins it for Terran. And if Protoss wins, it's sneaking this base in. Oh, got EMP'd again. These EMPs absolutely on point. We've seen 2 stasises this entire game and like maybe 12 arbiters. Oh, but these are exposed. They're coming from the rear again. A good tactic to have. No energy for EMP, so good stasis. Another one. And now we're going another deja vu moment here where Terra gets hit from the rear. And Protoss takes this, so yeah, reinforcements scrambling. Would like to see these tanks unsiege and get over. They've been sieged here all game. Need those Protoss reinforcements to help. Oh, another great EMP denying the storm. No energy on that guy. Only this guy has storm energy. There's still Terran stuff in here. Okay, the unstasis is actually doing wonders, choosing to engage right then and there. It might not be enough. Actually, there's very little Protoss left. I think Terran's done it. Honorable Terran. MVP SCVs win the game. Maybe? There's still a little bit more Protoss left. No, Terran's got this. Terran's got this. So even though Terran's been taking it from the rear, he still comes out on top. There we go. And sneaking this base in. There wasn't even much of a sneak base, though. It's just kind of set down, but it's done wonders. And it's definitely what won Terran the game here. Having that extra money to support that many more units was 2 base versus 1 base. I'm gonna see the last hurrah of Protoss here, most likely. Gonna charge in the remaining scant amount of units. No, just gonna hide on the hill here. I still want to know about this pylon. Why was it made? Why was the 40-minute pylon in this position chosen to be built? Okay, we're gonna get a recall of 4 Dragoons, and there is stuff here to deal with that. GG's called. Well. It was an incredible series, though. Very back and forth. Yeah, it was a crazy game. You know, props to the players. They all did an amazing job. Yeah, excellent stuff. And with that, Kiko wins that game. Two to one. Very close. The closest of the three, and they're all actually pretty close for the most part. Guess the Terran one was the most one-sided, but I wouldn't even call it one-sided. Yeah, very good stuff there. Okay, with that, I'm done for today. That was a fun series to cast and watch for sure. Let's see if there's anybody out there that we can raid. Oh, there's Bonnet show matches and Spring Cup? Okay, yeah, we go there. Okay. Thanks for joining me, guys. Hope you had a good time. I'll see you later.
Worm, it's
Ugh. Thanks for dropping by, guys. I appreciate it. Have a good one.
D-Matrix and then D-Web. Bonnet now walking into his own D-Webs, so he can't fire with his goons. But forcing Smirk to try and unsiege him backwards. Bonnet's definitely having a little bit of fun. Actually has 2 more D-Webs if he wants it, but, I mean, Smirk gonna win this fight. The issue is we do have 4 carriers behind this. Bonnet, well known for his legendary carrier micro. And so what we see right here is he attacks his own pylon to make his intercept